Our Vinyasa Flow Level 1-2 class, Tuesday, June the 23rd, 2020. The time is just a minute past 12. So without further ado, let's begin. And we're going to begin in Child's Pose. So I hope you're having an amazing day, Jessica. Amazing to have you here. And we got a nice little practice in store for us today. So I'll be joining you for the practice. Jessica, another quick announcement. I actually flipped the video. So you're going to be seeing me do my right, and you're going to be doing your right, and we're both going to be doing the same side. So I changed it because it was kind of confusing when I rewatched the video. So now when I say my right, it will be my right and your right. So hopefully that will be a kind of cool adjustment to see in today's practice. So close your eyes and just begin to become aware of your breath. And Child's Pose is often a pose we take to reconnect ourselves back here to the now. Allowing your breath to be long and slow here. And just breathing into the back body, spreading across the fingers. Rooting down through the thumb and the forefinger here. Lifting up through the inner arms. Wrapping the outer triceps in. And as you press down through your thumb and forefinger, or rather if your arms are extended behind you, bring your arms forward. Press down through the thumb and the forefinger. And begin to feel the inner arms lifting up. That's very important. That's an action we come back to throughout our class. Now feel all the length in the body as you continue to breathe into the hips, into the waist, and allow the hips to release down towards the heels. Good. So seal the thumb and forefinger down. Inhale, peel up the chest. Find your way into Tabletop Pose. And as you exhale, tuck the feet underneath and float the thigh bones back, downward facing dog pose. Excellent. So as you feel ready, just begin to walk the dog here. So bend that left knee really heavily and straighten across that left leg. And bend that right leg really deeply. That's it. And straighten across that right leg. And just do that a couple more times. So this is a great warm-up exercise, especially if you haven't done any physical practice today as of yet. This is a great way to kind of refocus our attention back to our bodies. One more time if you haven't already. Just beginning to bend into that opposite leg and then releasing on down. Good. And as you feel ready, look forward towards the hand. Shift forward into plank, top of a push-up. So spread across the fingers. See that the wrists are parallel with the top of the mat. Allow the inner arms to move forward, just like we did in our Child's Pose. Allow the outer thighs to continue to draw back. Thigh bones lift up towards the ceiling. As you feel ready, hug the belly in, downward facing dog pose again. Then we're going to do that one more time. So you shift forward into plank pose. Good. So press down through all 10 fingers, press those thighs back, take the heels back. One more time, float those hips back, downward facing dog pose. Very nice, very nice. So in the next time you shift forward into plank pose, you'll lower the knees down to the mat. You'll lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Walk the hands back so the hands are against the side ribs. Draw the elbows towards one another. Allow the shoulders to draw down towards the side ribs. As you press through the tops of the fingers, inhale, peel that chest up. Good. As you exhale, lower the head on down. Now come up onto your fingertips. Keep those elbows hugging towards one another. Inhale, begin to peel up the chest. Once again, let the tops of the shoulders release down the spine. Let the chest lift up, let the heart lift up. Breathe here. Feel the shoulder blades moving into the center chest. And as you exhale, lower down again. Good, we're going to do it one more time. Press down through the tops of the feet. Inhale, peel the chest on up. This time, float the fingers up off the mat. So spread the fingers wide apart. See that the fingers are just lifted off the mat and allow the elbows to hug in towards one another. As you press down through the fingers, tuck the toes underneath. Press down through the hands, press down through the feet. Float the thighs back, downward facing dog pose. Float your right leg up. So as you float your right leg up, see that the fingers are spread wide apart here. Continue to allow that left outer hip to draw back. Continue to press back through the right heel of the foot. As you exhale, draw the right knee into the chest and round the spine heavily here. So see that the shoulders are moving over the wrists, spread across the fingers, and hug that right knee in towards the chest. As you exhale, extend that right leg back again. And on the next breath, take the right foot and place the right foot in between the hands. Release the left knee down. Inhale, float the arms up and above the head. Continue to press that left calf down towards the shin. Continue to press the left thigh back towards the hamstring. Now take your arms forward in front of you. We've done this before. Turn the fingers so that the fingers face the ceiling. As you hug your belly in, inhale, begin to float the arms up and over the head. So this is the way to keep the body as long as possible. As you exhale, take the hands down to the mat. Tuck the left toes underneath, press the left thigh back, and inhale, begin to take your right hand to the right thigh. Good. Now walk your right foot out to the right. It can be at an angle here, and begin to look up over your right shoulder. If you'd like, lift up your right hand. Keep lifting up that right palm. Allow the left shoulder to spread across the back of the spine. Feel both shoulder blades drawing down the back body. As you lengthen through the chest, continue to hug the belly in for another 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release that right hand down. Step the right leg back. Release the head on down, downward facing dog pose. Float the left leg up. So as you float the left leg up, once again, see that that right outer thigh is drawing back. Feel the left inner leg lifting up. Feel the fingers spread wide apart as those forearms lift up off the mat. Now take the left knee to the chest, shoulders over wrists. Round the spine here. Continue to press down through the thumbs, the pinky fingers, the index fingers, all 10 fingers. And then inhale, float that left leg back one more time. And as you exhale, left knee comes to chest, shoulders over wrists. Step the left foot towards the hands. Release that right knee down. Inhale, float the arms up and over your head. So again here, take the arms forward in front of you. Turn the fingers so that all 10 fingers face the ceiling. As you press down through that right calf, feel the right thigh draw in. Feel the belly hug in, and inhale, float those arms up and over your head. As you exhale, take the hands down to the mat. Walk the left foot out to the left, so we'll come in a little bit differently this time. Take the left hand, place it on the left thigh, and spin the chest up. Now, if you'd like, I know on the other side we have that leg lifted. If you'd like, you can tuck the right toes underneath and lift back through that right leg. Inhale, float the left arm up. So as you float the left arm up, draw that left thigh back in towards the hip socket. Allow the right outer buttocks to roll in. Allow the right shoulder to draw in towards the center chest. That's it. Be here for another 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release that left hand down. Step the left leg back again. Release the left foot on down. Downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, look in between the hands. Bend the knees. Walk, step, or lightly jump the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening the torso here. Exhale, hinging and releasing the head down towards the feet. Spin the palms up towards the ceiling. Float the palms all the way up as you hug the belly in. Exhale, releasing the hands back down to the sides and finding your way into Tadasana Mountain Pose. So in Tadasana, be here for a moment. Spread across the feet. Feel your thighs drawing back. Feel the buttocks drawing down towards the heels. Belly hugging in. Frontal ribs are softening here as the back ribs continue to lengthen and extend. Release all the way through the fingers. Inhale, float those arms up and above the head. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen here. Good. We're going to step the left leg back, right leg back, and come into plank pose. So plank pose, let's start here. Lower the knees down, lower the chest all the way down. Good. Walk the hands back. Inhale, peel up the chest and heart. As you exhale, tuck the toes underneath, float the thighs back, downward facing dog. So first vinyasa I like to move into with the knees touching the ground. And as you continue to breathe in your downward facing dog, keep pressing back through those thigh bones. Keep allowing the outer heels to lengthen towards the back of the mat. Good. And once again, looking in between the hands, walk, step, or maybe you're ready to lightly jump the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, hinging and folding. Inhale, raising those arms up towards the ceiling. Palms face one another. As you exhale, glide the hands back towards the side. So 2 more times. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthening here. Good. Plant the palms down, step the feet back, plank pose. So this time, if you'd like, you can shift forward halfway, pause here, come all the way up onto the tippy toes, bend the elbows halfway, pause, be here for a moment, then press down through the fingers to lift the chest up, upward facing dog. See that the toes roll underneath, see that the chest moves through those arms. As you exhale, press through the fingers, downward facing dog pose. Very nice. So that's our little vinyasa, and you can move through that as many times as you want throughout today's practice. And looking forward in between the hands again, bend those knees. If you'd like, walk, step, or lightly hop the feet forward towards the hands. Be light about it. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Urdhva Hastasana arms, extended arms pose. Exhale, bringing the hands back down towards the sides. One more time. Inhale, floating up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthening here. Good. Plant the hands down to the mat. Walk the feet back. Find your way into plank pose. Hold in plank. Spread across the fingers here. So as you take plank pose, press firmly in through that left palm. Keep pressing those heels back. Can you come up onto your fingertips of your right hand? So your weight is pretty heavy in that left palm, but you're also shifting weight towards those heels. Keep pressing through that left palm. Keep pressing through those fingertips of the right hand, belly in. As you exhale, lower the right palm down. Inhale, shift the weight over to the left side. So spread across those fingers here. Come onto those fingertips. Press the heels back. Keep those inner thighs lifted up. As you start to feel the burn, continue to lengthen here. And I'm not talking about Sanders. As you continue to breathe here, lengthen those hips back and continue to lengthen the chest forward. As you exhale, lower that left hand down. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower all the way down. Good. Inhale, peel up the chest, heart and sternum here for Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. As you exhale, tucking the toes underneath, pressing the thigh bones back, downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, float the right leg up. Once again, look in between the hands. And then look down towards that right extended foot. Now draw the right knee in towards the chest. So you're still looking at that knee here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the right knee and you're just going to bring it over to the right slightly. Spread those fingers wide apart. Continue to breathe here. So hug that belly in. Lengthen through the heart, lengthen through the chest, lengthen through the sternum. Once again, extend that right leg back behind you. So this time as you bring the right knee in through the chest, step the right foot in between the hands. Press down through the right ball of the foot, press down through that left heel. So our legs are about hips width distance apart. Take your arms back behind you and lengthen through your chest. So this is actually called floating lunge pose. So you're pressing that left heel back. You're pressing down through the right heel. Now, as you feel ready, inhale, lift the chest on up. Float the arms up towards the ceiling here. Good, breathe here. Now you're going to bring the hands into the chest. You're going to lower that left knee slowly down to the mat. Inhale, float the arms back up towards the ceiling. And as you bring the hands back into the chest, you're going to see if you can float that left leg off the mat. And inhale, float those arms up towards the ceiling 2 more times. So start by bringing the hands into the chest. Then lower that left knee down. Good. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands back into the chest. Inhale, straighten that left leg, and then take the arms up towards the ceiling. 1 more time. Hands come into the center chest. Bend that left knee down to the mat. Inhale, float those arms up. Exhale, hands come into the center chest. This time, take your left tricep, place it over top of your right thigh. Press that left thigh back and begin to breathe here as you lengthen through the chest. Good. As you inhale here, keep drawing in that right outer hip. Lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Float those arms up. Exhale, place those hands down on the mat. Step your right leg back. Shift forward into plank pose. Lower down halfway. Pause. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, float that left leg up. So again here, we're doing this all day, these like little floaters, floating these legs up. So it requires a lot of strength in the inner legs. Keep lifting up through that left inner leg. And then you're going to Begin to look forward towards the hands. See the hands are spread wide apart. Look towards that foot. See that the foot is lengthening. Draw the left knee into the chest. Now take that left knee, bring it over towards the left tricep, and hold here. So spread across those fingers. Firm in the triceps. Hug in that belly. Keep breathing here. Inhale, extending that left leg back behind us. Next time we draw the left knee into the chest, step the left foot in between the hands. So come high up onto the fingertips here. Press back through that right heel. Float the arms back behind us. Good. So keep floating those arms back behind us. Inhale, peel up the chest here, and then raise the arms up towards the ceiling. So 3 times. Hands coming through the center chest. Softly lower that right knee down. Inhale, float the arms up. Hands come back to the center chest. Straighten through that right leg. Arms extend up towards the ceiling. 2 more times. Hands coming through the center chest. Lower down that right knee. Pause. Inhale, float the arms up. Hands come back to the center chest. Straighten through that right leg. Arms extend up towards the ceiling. 1 more time. Hands come to the center chest. Lower that knee. Pause. This time, bring your right tricep over the top of your left thigh. You can stay here, or just like we did earlier, you can lengthen through that back leg and breathe here. So be here for another 3, 2, 1. Release the hands down to the mat. Step your left leg back. Shift forward into plank pose. Lower down halfway. Pause. Inhale, peel up the chest here. Exhale, pressing on back for downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, step the right foot in between the hands. Spin the left heel down. Draw the right outer buttocks in. Inhale, float the arms up and out to the sides. Warrior 2 pose. Warrior 2 pose, take the hands, bend at those elbows, and begin to take your right arm underneath your left, just like this. You can hug your shoulders here if you want. What I'm going to ask you to do is take your right bicep, right forearm lifted up, take your left arm and bring it in, and then lift the elbows up. So now we are in eagle arms here. Very nice. Eagle arms. Keep allowing those shoulders to spread wide apart. Very good. Inhale, float those arms out to the sides again, straighten across that right leg. Look forward to the hands, bend 1 more time deep into that right knee. Spin the right fingers up towards the ceiling, release the left hand down on that left thigh, look up towards that right hand. Keep bending into that right knee. Lift that right outer hip up. Now take your right hand inside of your right leg, draw the left arm all the way up towards the ceiling, and as you externally rotate that left arm above the head, begin to lengthen those left fingers all the way forward towards the front of the mat. Keep pulling the right outer hip back as you press forward from the left pinky toe side of the foot all the way through the pinky finger. As you inhale here, float that arm back up. Raise that arm up towards the ceiling. Warrior 2 pose. Reverse the warrior 1 more time. Exhale, lower those hands down to the mat. Step your right leg back. Shift forward plank. Plank pose to Chaturanga Dandasana. Chaturanga Adho Mukha Shavasana. Urdhva. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana. So again here, spread across those fingers. See that the head is releasing down. See that the eyes are soft. Take the knees and just bring the knees to about 1 inch off the floor. So be here. This is like a very weird pose. It's kind of like tabletop pose, but it's a little bit different. So you're pressing those thigh bones back. You're pressing the fingers forward and you're rounding the spine. It's like tabletop. And as you feel ready, float those legs on back. Good, we're going to do it again. So lower down those knees. Can you lower those elbows to about 1 inch off the floor? Nice. Keep firming the outer elbows in. Keep breathing here. Good. Straighten those elbows, straighten the legs, and come back to downward facing dog. Very good, guys. Inhale, float the left leg up. So again, spread across the fingers. Keep drawing that right outer hip back. Keep breathing here as you take that left hip forward. Step the left foot in between the hands. Spin the right heel out. I'm just changing sides so you guys can see me. Spin the right heel out. Inhale, Warrior 2 pose. So Warrior 2 pose, be here for a moment. We're going to take the hands and this time bring the left arm underneath the right. Hug yourself. And then from here, keep releasing those hips down towards the mat. Draw the elbows, so you're going to lift up across your left arm. You're going to lift up against your right, and then you're going to cross at these forearms here. So let the shoulder blades spread across the back body. It's actually creating space in the shoulders, allows for us to kind of hold our poses for a little bit longer. And then extend those arms out to the sides. Straighten across that left leg, re-bend into that knee. Take the right hand, place it down on the right thigh. Lift the left arm up towards the ceiling as you breathe here. Now take that left palm, glide it down towards the mat, right arm extends up towards the ceiling. From here, press that right pinky toe side of the foot down. We're going to come into this a different way. Take your right thumb, turn it down towards the mat. And just like you're gliding butter across bread, I don't know why I always give that example, but for some reason it sticks for me, extend your right arm up and over the head. Press down through the right pinky finger. Press that right thigh back. Continue to lengthen from the right side of the chest all the way through the right pinky finger. Keep bending into that left knee and draw that left outer hip back. Utthita Parsvakonasana, extended side angle pose. Inhale, float that arm up. Let that arm lift us up out of the pose. Reverse the warrior here. Release the hands down to the mat and find your way back through a vinyasa, shifting forward into plank. Lowering down halfway, pause. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, pressing on back. Downward facing dog pose. Very nice. Good. One more time, we're going to step the right foot in between the hands here. You're going to spin the left heel out. Warrior two once again. Warrior two pose once again. Good. From warrior two pose, straighten across that right leg. See that the right foot, first of all, is parallel with the outer sides of the mat. Hinge the right outer hip in. So you keep gliding that right arm forward. Take the right hand outside of the right leg. Left arm up towards the ceiling. So as you press down through the pinky toe side of the left foot, left outer hip spins down, left chest spins up towards the ceiling here. Good. Look down at your mat now. Take your left hand, place it on the left hip. Bend deeply into that right knee. Step your left foot in, step your right hand forward. Step your left foot in again, and as you begin to breathe, lift that left leg on up. Now, as that left leg lifts on up, you need to turn the top of the left foot down. So the left foot, it's not facing the ground, but it's turning towards the side of the room. Now, inhale, raise your left arm up out of your sternum. See that those shoulders are spread wide apart here. Continue to hug the belly in. See that your side ribs are lengthening forward as that outer left hip draws back. Good. We're going to come into Chapasana. So if you'd like, bend deeply into that left knee. You'll draw the knee forward so you can see how low my knee is. And then I grab hold of that shin. I grab hold of the foot and I bring the left heel as close to the buttocks as possible. That's really one of the ways that we can get that leg back. The goal of this pose, however, is to open up your top chest. So you want to keep drawing that foot down towards the buttocks to lift up through the left side of the chest here. Maybe you could take your right hand off the mat. Maybe you could grab hold your right hand behind the foot as well. This is like a wheel. And then release, and then release your right hand down. Take your left arm out to the side, and then release your left leg on down. So one more time, come back into triangle. Triangle pose, bending into that right knee, windmilling the hands down to the mat, stepping your right leg back to meet the left, moving through a vinyasa here. Shifting forward plank, chaturanga, upward facing, and downward facing dog. So you're going to step the left foot in between the hands here and spin that right heel out. As you feel ready, inhale, float the arms up into warrior two pose again. Let's straighten through that left leg. If you ever seen a Mobius wheel, Mobius wheels are like infinity signs. It's kind of like that. As you feel ready, extend those arms out to the sides. Hinge at that left hip. Keep leaning the chest forward. Keep lengthening through that left arm. Release the left arm down outside of the leg. Right arm up towards the ceiling. Press down through the left ball of the foot. Draw the left outer buttocks in. Press down through the right pinky toe side of the foot. Draw the right thigh back. Keep lifting through that right side of the chest. And just like we started with today, feel the shoulder blades moving down the spine, like in those twisting poses we started with, the twisting lunge. Take your right hand to the right hip, look down towards the mat. Bend deeply into that left knee, step your left hand forward of that foot. Step your right foot in. Then step your hand forward of the foot again. So it's like 8 to 12 inches diagonal of the foot. Take your right foot, begin to lift your right leg up. See that that right heel is spinning down. Inhale, float.
the right arm all the way up towards the ceiling here. So as you continue to breathe here, see that that right foot is flexed. See that that left hip continues to draw in. Allow the chest to lengthen here. So feel the shoulder blades spreading across the back of the spine. Tilt the right foot down. Allow the sternum to lengthen forward all the way to the crown of the head. And then as you feel ready here, if you want, okay, you're going to bend into that right knee. You can bend the left knee as well. The left knee bending is good because that helps to keep your hamstrings relaxed. You could grab hold of the outer shin of your right foot. Then you're going to take your right foot and you're just going to place your right foot and glue it towards your buttocks. Your right heel is glued towards your right buttocks. And then from here, open up the chest. Open up the heart. Open up the sternum. Good. Now keep kicking back through that right leg. Okay, so to get the balance in the pose, you want to stay with your attention in that right foot. Maybe lift the left hand off the mat. Maybe grab hold of that right foot here. It's okay if you lose your balance, it's fine. I lose my balance in this pose sometimes. And then kick back. Lift the chest, keep kicking back. Lift the chest, keep kicking back. Nice. Exhale, softly release. Take that right arm up. Take that right leg back. Softly release that right leg on down. Triangle pose. Inhale, lifting the chest, bending through that left knee. Reverse the warrior here. Take the hands down to the mat. And then windmill and move through a vinyasa. So shift forward into plank. Lower down halfway. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, pressing back. Downward facing dog pose. So from downward facing dog pose, we're going to take the right foot in between the hands again. This time, spin the left heel down and see that the feet are heel to heel distance apart or wider. Continue to firm the right outer buttocks in. Continue to press down through that left outer foot. Now, glide your hands back behind you one more time so the fingers are facing one another. Keep lifting the chest. So the chest is hovering off of that right thigh. Continue to feel the belly hugging in. Continue to feel the sternum lengthening to the crown of the head. As you press through the left foot, inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Warrior one pose, straighten through that right leg. Now, spin your left hip towards the right foot and bend deeply into that right knee. Keep pressing through that right heel. Keep hugging that right outer thigh in. Keep allowing the belly to draw into the back of the spine. Exhale, lower those hands down to the mat. Glide your right leg back. Shift forward through plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana, stepping the left foot in between the hands. So once again here, even before we lift up, right foot, left foot, heel to heel or wider apart. Right foot is pressing down and out. Left knee is bending here. Left calf is moving to left shin. And as you feel ready, inhale. Float the arms up towards this. Oh, I'm sorry, before we do that, my apologies. Take your arms back behind you. See that your chest is floating off of your left thigh. Keep drawing your sternum forward as you hug your left outer buttocks in. Now press through the right foot. Inhale, float the arms up. Good. Straighten across the left leg. Spin your right hip towards the left side of the room. And again, bend deeply into that left knee. Keep lifting through the chest. Keep lifting through the heart. Keep lifting through the sternum. Exhale, lower those hands down. Step the left leg back, shift forward plank. Lower down halfway, pause. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, pressing back. Downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, just tippy toe your feet forward towards the hands and really let your heels be lifted off the mat. So when you come about maybe 2 or 3 feet forward, it gets really difficult to move any further forward. Can you take your right knee and just bring your right knee to a bent position as you look in between your hands? So just take your right knee to a bent position. Keep looking in between your hands. Press through those hands. Wrap your outer arms in and release that right foot on down. Do the same with the left. So you're going to lift the left knee up. It's like a flamingo. Press down through those feet. Wrap those outer arms in. Hug the belly and breathe here. Exhale, lower down. This time just walk the hands towards the feet. Release the head all the way down. So nice long forward fold here. Now bend those knees a lot. Bend those knees a lot. Keep your fingertips on the mat. Begin to inhale. Lift up the chest. Keep your fingertips on the mat. And then take your arms forward in front of you. So like you're sitting into a deep chair here. You're sitting into a deep chair. Very nice. Keep wrapping those outer thighs in. Keep pressing through the feet as you breathe. Inhale, begin to straighten those legs. Take the arms up towards the ceiling as you exhale. Glide the arms out to the sides. Find your way into Tadasana Pose. Very nice. So we're preparing for B series here. Inhale, float those arms up towards the ceiling, bending the knees. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening through the chest. As you take the hands down to the mat, walk the feet back, moving through a vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog pose, your choice. After you get to downward facing dog pose, step the right foot in between the hands, spin the left heel down. You have the option, you move up into warrior one pose, breathing in for a breath. As you exhale, glide those hands down to the mat. Gliding your right leg back, shifting forward plank, lowering down halfway. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, pressing back for Adho Mukha Shavasana. So we don't waste any time. We step the left foot in between the hands. Spin that right heel down. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, lowering them down to the mat. Glide that left leg back. Shift forward for plank. Lower down halfway. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, pressing back. Downward facing dog pose. So downward facing dog pose, again, we look in between the hands. Walk, step, or lightly jump the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, hinging and folding. Bending those knees. Utkatasana chair pose. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the center chest. 2 more times. So inhale, floating those arms up. Exhale, hinging and folding. Inhale, lengthening here. So we step the feet back and we move through a vinyasa. You can always go straight into downward facing dog here. From downward facing dog, we step the left foot in between the hands this time. We just alternate here. Inhale, float those arms up and above your head. As you exhale, glide those hands down to the mat. Left foot steps back, shift forward, plank, chaturanga, upward dog, downward facing dog, and as you feel ready, stepping the right foot forward. Inhale, float those arms up towards the ceiling, lengthening through the chest. As you exhale, hinging and folding, stepping the right leg back, moving through a vinyasa here. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, pressing back. Good. So being here for a moment, just spreading across the fingers, lengthening through the thighs, and breathing here. And on your next exhalation, bending the knees, walk, step, or lightly jumping the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, hinging and folding. Bend the knees, Utkatasana chair pose. Straighten through the legs. Hands come to the center chest. 1 more time. Inhale, float the arms up, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Hands come to the mat, walk the feet back, find your way into plank. Plank pose to chaturanga, chaturanga to upward dog to downward facing dog. Okay, so let's step the right foot in between the hands, spin the left heel down, inhale for warrior one. Hold here for a moment. So before we move any further, we just did a lot of movement, so we're gonna hold. Press through that left ball of the foot. See that that left outer hip turns in. See that that right outer hip draws in, good. Straighten across the right leg. Now, take your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers here. Pull your fingers down the back of that left leg and bend deeply into that right knee again. Now take your arms and glide your arms all the way up towards your ceiling, all the way up towards the ceiling for humble warrior pose. Firm the left outer or right outer buttocks in. Press down through that left ball of the foot. Lengthen through both sides of the chest as you breathe here. On the next inhalation, raise the arms up towards the ceiling, lengthen through the fingers and lift through the chest, straighten through that right leg. As you exhale, bend deeply into that right knee. Place the hands down on the mat and step your right leg back to meet the left. So you can stay in downward facing dog or you can join me in another vinyasa. It's like Vinyasa City today. We're doing tons of vinyasas. As you feel ready, take the left foot forward, spin the right heel down. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Straighten across the left leg. You know, in a 2-3 class, they start out this way. I realize we're doing a little bit more than usual, but it's okay. A little bit of a workout today. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Pull the fingers down the back of the right leg. Bend deeply into that left knee. Good. And as you feel ready, float the arms up towards the ceiling as you wrap the outer armpits in. So see that that left outer hip draws in. See that that right pinky toe draws down. Keep lengthening through the chest here as you breathe. And as you inhale, float those arms back, lift the arms up. Exhale, moving through vinyasa, shifting forward into plank, lowering down, pause, inhale, peeling up. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog pose. So once again, we're gonna take the right foot in between the hands and spin the left heel down. Inhale, float up into warrior one pose. Good. Straighten across that right leg, okay? From here, you're gonna take your left hand, you're gonna place your left hand on your left shoulder. You're gonna take your right hand, you're gonna grab your right hand and bring it up the back. Maybe you can clasp hold of your fingers here. If not, you could either use a strap or your t-shirt or grab hold of something. Now the legs are pretty far apart here, so you may wanna step your back foot forward just a little bit and see that those elbows are drawing towards one another. As you press through the right big toe mound of the foot, draw the right hip back, draw the left elbow forward. So keep pressing through that left heel. Keep lengthening through the left arm and breathing here. Add a light bend to that right knee. I know we're in Parsvatonasana. I know that the right leg is supposed to be straight, but add a light bend to that right knee, just so that you feel like you can get that length, a little bit more length in the back of the right hip flexor. And as you inhale here, lift the arms up again. Release the arms out to the sides. Bend deeply into that right knee. Inhale, lift the arms up. As you exhale, glide the hands down to the mat. Spin onto the ball of your left foot and begin to lift up your left leg as you walk your hands forward for standing L pose. So we're in standing L pose for a moment, but we're not going to stay here. You're going to take your right hand and place it on your right hip. As you continue to breathe, can you lift up that left leg even more? Can you lift up that left leg even more? Good. Now, bend into that left knee. Maybe you can grab hold of that right ankle here. This is not easy, okay? Kick back through that left thigh as you begin to rotate the chest up towards the ceiling here. I'm combining a couple of poses together. Keep lifting through the chest. Keep lifting through the heart and breathing here. As you exhale, softly release the bind. Keep that right leg up towards the ceiling. Release the right hand down towards the mat. Now walk the hands back. Softly release that left leg down and release the head down here. This is Parsvatonasana pose. This is pyramid pose. Release that head down and lower the eyes. So just draw that right hip back and breathe here. Good. And then from here, you'll bend deeply into that right knee. You'll step that right leg back. And if you'd like, you can move through another vinyasa with me. Shifting forward, inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog pose. As you feel ready, step the left foot forward in between the hands. Spin the right heel down. Inhale, float those arms up, warrior one pose. Warrior one pose. As you feel ready, keep pressing through that right ball of the foot. Lift through both sides of the chest and breathe here. Straighten across that left leg, take your hands to your hips. So you'll probably need to step your right leg in slightly here. And the reason you need to step the right leg in is because having a shorter distance in the hips, it makes it easier for you to create length in the body. Now take your right arm, extend it up towards the ceiling. I'm gonna flip the pose so you can see me. You're gonna take that right arm up towards the ceiling here. You're gonna place the right hand on the right shoulder. Then you'll take your left hand and you're gonna bring it back behind you and draw your fingers towards one another. See that that right elbow continues to lengthen towards the ceiling. See that that left elbow continues to lengthen towards the floor. Press through that right heel. See that that left outer hip hugs in. Begin to hinge forward. Begin to hinge forward. Begin to hinge forward here. Nice. So as you continue to hinge forward, keep allowing for that right hip to draw back. Keep allowing for that left hip to draw back and breathing here. Keep lifting through the chest, the heart, the sternum. Nice. Inhale, lift those arms back up. So come back to standing. Place your hands on your hips. Once again here, bend deeply into that left knee. Inhale, float the arms up. As you exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Okay, so from here we spin onto the ball of the right foot. And then we begin to breathe. We lift up through that right leg. So we lift that right leg up, however much it lifts up for you. The amount it doesn't matter, just that it's lifting and that you're lifting through the inner side of the leg. Now take your left hand, place it on your left hip crease, and begin to breathe here as you spin the chest. Now you have one of two options. You can lift your left arm up towards the ceiling, come into your standard Parsva Ardha Chandrasana, twisting Ardha Chandrasana, or Prasarita rather. And then you could bend through that left leg, or right leg, I'm sorry, grab hold of the right shin with your left hand and begin to kick that leg back. This is probably the more challenging of the variations. Keep kicking that leg back and turning the chest up towards the ceiling here. Nice. Softly release that right leg on back. Lift the left arm up. Release the left hand on down. Release the right leg on down behind you. And then walk the fingers back until eventually you find your way into that nice long Parsvatonasana stretch. And breathe here. Keep releasing the head down. You're breathing into that left leg, into the right leg. Good, and as you feel ready, take the hands to the hips. Bend deeply through that left knee. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, vinyasa. So this time stepping your left leg back, shifting forward into plank, lowering down the chest halfway, and eventually all the way down. We've made it to the ground, yes. I sometimes feel like that. I just want to be here forever. As you feel ready, that's a normal feeling. That's why we practice yoga. As you feel ready, take your hands and lengthen your hands back behind you and lift the fingers up. See that your palms are pressing in towards each other and continue to lengthen the chest. So this is called Shalabhasana pose. Okay? Float the right leg up and spin the right outer thigh in. All right. As you exhale, lower that foot on down. Float the left leg up, spin the left outer foot on in, and release that leg on down. And you're going to take your hands, you're going to cross your elbows here and breathe. Okay, then from here, you're going to bend your knees. I was going to go somewhere different, but this is fine. You're going to bend your knees, and then you're going to take your left hand and grab hold of your left shin. You're going to take your right hand and grab hold of your right shin. You're going to release the forehead back down on the mat. So just like we did in that Ardha Chandrasana pose, you're already going to begin to kick those legs back. See that the buttocks lengthens towards those heels. So calves is moving towards the shins, thighs is moving towards the hamstrings, buttocks is moving towards the heels, and your belly is hugging in. So just begin to peel up that chest. Peel up that chest, peel up the chest. Keep kicking those legs back. Keep kicking those legs back. Keep kicking those legs back. Exhale, lower down, and release. Dhanurasana's pose. Dhanurasana is wheel. But whenever I say Dhanurasana's pose, I always feel like Dhanurasana is the name of the man whose pose it is. And maybe it is. Maybe he was a wheel. As you feel ready, taking your legs to a bent position, grabbing hold of your outer shins here, hugging those knees in as you continue to kick back, lift the chest up. Keep kicking back, keep kicking back, keep kicking back. And then as you feel ready, exhale, releasing on down. Just release your head to the other side. All right. And then from here, as you feel ready, I may teach this pose. I wasn't going to, but now I may. Okay, so just sit up for a moment just so you can watch. So what you're going to do, and this is obviously, it's a very challenging pose, but I'm going to teach it and you'll see what you can do. So what you're going to do, and maybe you've done it before, I have no idea. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your left hand, you're going to place your left hand down to the floor, you're going to roll all the way onto the right side of the body, and you're going to walk your left hand as far in between, like as far close to the midline of the body as you can. Then you're going to just roll over onto that arm. So you're like, your arm's in what we call an internal rotation. It's not the normal position of the arm, but for this pose, it does a good job. So then what you're going to do is you're going to roll over onto the other side. And you're going to be like, oh, that's kind of uncomfortable. But you're going to take your right hand and you're going to bring your right palm right underneath so that your right palm is right next to your left. And you're going to roll back on and you're like, oh, crap, this is not good. And you're going to feel this because both of your hands are in this very awkwardly shaped pose. Now, what you're going to begin to do is you're going to begin to lift, just like we did before. You're going to press down, so let the belly release down. You're going to begin to lift both legs up at the same time. And as you lift those legs up, you're going to press through the palms. You're going to press through the fingers. You're going to press through the elbows and lift those legs up. and lift those legs up, and lift those legs up, and exhale, lower on down. Roll over, and release. So that, my friends, is called Shalabhasana pose. We very rarely take it in class. I'm not quite sure why, but that's the very traditional pose called Shalabhasana. All right, we're going to do it one more time. I don't know why we have to do it twice, but we have to do it twice. So as you feel ready, you're going to roll all the way onto your left shoulder. So you're going to come in the opposite way this time. You're going to bring your right arm all the way as close to the midline of the body as you can. And you're going to roll back very slowly as to release your entire right hand down. You're going to do the same to the left. So roll over. You're going to roll over. And then you're going to press both hands next to each other. Now, spread across the fingers. Firm in the triceps. So you don't have to lift both legs at once. If you want, you could just lift right leg up. That's fine. Just lift the right leg up. Good, and then lower that right leg down. And then you could just lift the left leg up. It's a lot easier this way. And then lower that leg down. And if you want, and you're crazy, try to lift both legs up. And lower them down. Softly remove the arms from underneath the body and release the head on down. Okay, take your hands now. Bring your hands next to your sides. Now that I killed you. All right, you're going to take your legs and you're going to bring your legs forward of the body. And you're going to lengthen your legs, your knees in, okay? Because what would a class be without any abdominal work? It wouldn't be a class at all. So you're going to take your hands behind the head and you're just going to simply move into bicycles. Right leg extends forward, both elbows draw over to the left. Back to center and change. So typically, sometimes you see these movements very quickly, especially bicycles. Especially in fitness classes, you see bicycles move very quickly. But in yoga class, sometimes we move slower in our bicycles because we're really trying to activate each of the individual muscles. So you can move at your own pace. If you want to do double time, you can do double time. It's fine. You know, I prefer this slower pace. And then if you want, you can lift your left leg up and draw it back. And then you can do the same to the other side. And draw it back. And again. And back. And again. And back. Good. So hug your knees into the chest now. Just be here for a moment. Knees are at the chest. Take your legs up towards the ceiling. Lift the fingers up and breathe here. You're going to lower that right leg down to the mat. Inhale, lift that right leg up. You're going to lower that left leg down to the mat. Keep looking at that belly button. Inhale, lift that left leg up. Right leg lowers down to the mat. Inhale, lift that right leg up. Left leg lowers down to the mat. Inhale, lift that left leg up. 2 more times. Right leg and back. And left leg and back. And right leg and back. And left leg and back. What the hell? One more. And right leg and back. And left leg and back. Good. Hug the knees into the chest here. That's a really nice, subtle abdominal stretches. So as you feel ready, let both knees drift over to the left side. Take your arms out to the sides. Breathe here. Let the arms be open. And then back to center and to the other side. And then as you feel ready, take the hands, hold on to the outer edge of the mat, roll the shoulders under, press down through the feet. So buttocks towards the knees, thighs towards the hamstrings, belly hugs on in, fingers interlace underneath. Press down through the feet, wrap the outer arms in, and breathe here. This is just bridge pose. This is the opposite of locust pose. But it's very good for our shoulders. We just kind of did that internal rotation, and now we do the external rotation. All right, release the buttocks on down. Lower those shoulders, roll them out to the sides. Okay, so if you'd like, you can take Urdhva Dhanurasana. So I'll be describing it or demonstrating it here if you want to join me in the pacing of it. So you could take your hands and place your hands along the lines of your shoulders. And you do want to hug those elbows in. And as you press down through the feet here, spread across the fingers, begin to float the pelvis up. Good. So take the tailbone and bring it back towards the knees. Hug that belly in. Good. And then as you press down through the fingers, begin to lift up onto the top of the head. Here, pause. Firm the outer arms in. Keep drawing the shoulder blades down the spine. And then lift up. And then lift up and lift up and lift up, just like this. Keep breathing here. Lengthening through the chest, heart, and sternum. Breathing into the spine. Keep lengthening through the heart. And then as you exhale, lower all the way down. And just release here for a moment. So it's oftentimes good to just take a release, even if you can hold it for longer, because we're going to come back again. So as you feel ready, take the hands, bring them behind the shoulders, see that the feet are in line with the knees. So you already lift the legs up as if you're moving into bridge pose. The difference is the arms. So you press down through the fingers. You feel the forearms drawing back, so from the inner to the outer forearm. Then you feel the triceps drawing down towards the floor. And then you lift up onto the top of the head. So once again, the forearms press away, the triceps press down, and you inhale, lift the chest up. It's just like the legs. The shins, right? The calves move towards the shins. The thighs move towards the hamstrings. It's identical. It's the same exact pose. And then as you exhale, lower the head on down. Good. All right, from here, you're going to take your left knee, draw it in, thread the needle. So you're going to take the left knee, bring it on out, grab hold of the back of the leg, and just release here for a moment. And then you'll bring that right knee in, and you'll cross it over the left, and then you'll take the thread the needle to the opposite side. And then you're going to hug these knees into the chest. Just squeeze them on in. And then if you'd like, you could take yourself into the happy baby, the happiest baby in the world, releasing those heels up towards the ceiling, just letting the head rock from side to side. And just rocking the body right and left. Rocking those hips right and left. All right, and eventually releasing the feet on down. So take your hands, place them along your sides, roll the shoulders underneath, and breathe here. And breathe. And as you continue to breathe, just release everything. Just let it all go. There's a chant. You could stay in Shavasana for a moment. There's a chant, which is a good chant to chant at the end of our practice. So I will just be chanting it. You could just rest here for another moment in Shavasana. It's Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be happy. That's what it means. But start by directing it towards yourself. May I be happy. May I experience happiness. May you be happy. May all beings be happy. So I'll chant it. Loka Samasta Samasta Suki no Bhavantu. One more time. Loka Samasta Suki no Bhavantu. As you feel ready, hug those knees into the chest. Rock the body from side to side. Roll over onto your side. And then press your way on up. So find your way into a seated position. And just close your eyes and be here. As we close our practice today, maybe just setting an intention for your day. It could just be just to kind of be here now, be peaceful, be present, be mindful. And as you exhale, just release the chin towards the chest. So, as always, thank you guys so much for being a part of the practice. Jessica, thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed the practice. I think we were bordering a level 2, maybe even a 2-3 at some points. But I think that's good. Sometimes, even though it's a 1-2 class, I like to kind of switch it up. It's okay to kind of throw in a little 2-3 in there every now and then. So I hope that you have a great day. And yeah, that's the practice for today. So just as we close as usual, my name is Jason Gorenstein. And this is our Vinyasa flow practice. So our next class is going to be Thursday, June the 25th, so in a couple days from now. And if you enjoyed the practice, give a like sign or give a heart sign. And it has been a pleasure practicing with you, Jessica, so I hope that you enjoyed the class. And yes, please keep on enjoying. So for anybody else who is tuning in or anybody else who will be watching in the future, as we predict the future, if somebody is watching in the future, I hope that you guys also have a great day. So as I usually say, my friends, as I sign off, be well, be happy, namaste. So thank you guys so much. Jessica, have a wonderful day. And anybody else who's watching also as well. So namaste, yogis. Thank you guys.